Hello, my dear students, and a warm welcome to the lesson Carbon Compounds. Last time you have learned that carbon forms its compound due to covalent bonding, that is nothing but sharing of electrons. You have also learned that about the simple molecule of carbon, that is methane, and even you have learned about how covalent bonding is there in the case of hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen atom. Now, why we need to study carbon atom, that also I have told you, because carbon is very important element as it forms so many compounds, millions of compounds, and therefore it is different from others. This element becomes different from others since it forms many number of compounds, and therefore carbon can be called as a versatile element. Why? Because carbon can form different number of compounds. Therefore, carbon is a versatile element. Let's see why it is called as versatile element. Now, you have seen last time that the number of compounds you have formed from carbon is extremely large. Extremely, you cannot imagine that many number of compounds are formed by carbon, and therefore it makes carbon different from all other elements. Now, you have learnt even about so many different types of objects, like you have seen that metallic objects, glass objects, or earthen objects which are made from soil are the only ones which are not made from carbon. But if you see clothes, paper, medicines, plants, trees, all the organisms are made up of carbon. Okay, even the entire living kingdom is made from carbon. So you can say that our life is carbon. Okay, why? Because our body is made from carbon. Okay, that is not only the protein molecules but even carbohydrates, fats, all these are made up of carbon compound. So therefore we can say that we are made up of, not only we, all the living organisms are made up of carbon, right? And then even our body is made from carbon. Fine. Then the millions of molecules ranging from the smallest one, that is methane, a simple molecule of carbon, to the largest molecule, that is DNA, is also made up of carbon. So that means there is a wide range of carbon compounds. So you can see that carbon compounds with simple molecule like methane has molecular mass as 16. Now carbon has 6 plus 6 protons and 6 neutrons, and therefore its carbon's atomic mass becomes 12, whereas it is bonded to 4 hydrogens, and each hydrogen has 1 atomic mass. So 4 hydrogen means 4. So 12 plus 4 becomes 16 as its molecular mass of the methane, whereas the molecular mass of DNA is very large, that is around 10 raised to 12. That means you can add 12 zeros, that many number, that much is the molecular mass of DNA, which is said to be the largest molecule. So you can see that there is a variety in the case of carbon compounds, ranging from the simple methane molecule to the largest one, that is deoxyribonucleic acid. In between you can see what are the different molecular masses of the different compounds. Fine. Then till now the number of known carbon atoms or compound, sorry, not atoms, is around 10 million. So 1 million is 10 lakhs. So 10 million will be 100 lakhs, and 100 lakhs is nothing but 1 crore. So 1 crore, more than 1 crore of compounds are formed alone by carbon, so which makes it different from all other element. Okay, so if you try to match with the number of compounds with all other elements, remaining other elements, then we can say that the number of carbon compounds are much more as compared to the number of carbon compounds formed by all the other elements. Whatever number of elements are there in the periodic table, you can see that whatever number of compounds which are formed by these elements is also less than the single carbon atom. Okay, so you can see that is why it is very important for us to know. Fine. And then carbon compound and their molecular masses, the number range of molecular masses of carbon compounds is 10 raised to 1. That is, first one, methane, is 10 raised to 1 because it is 16 is its molecular mass, and DNA is 10 raised to 12. So the molecular masses ranges from 10 raised to 1 to 10 raised to 12. So big is the number of carbon compounds. Then now why does this what are the reasons behind this to form so many compounds? Okay, there are various reasons altogether. There are altogether 4 reasons. Okay, one is tetracovalency, second is catenation, third is polymerization, fourth is isomerism. Out of which I am going to discuss first is catenation. Okay, now what is meant by catenation? Carbon atoms come together to form large number to form extremely big molecule. Means what? Here carbon bonds with itself. Okay, so this property is also called as catenation, and the definition of catenation is nothing but a property of direct bonding between atoms of same element. Okay, I'll repeat, the property of direct bonding between atoms of the same element. Here atoms of the same element means carbon itself. So carbon can join with another carbon, that same carbon can join with another carbon, and so on. So it can like that. If it goes on forming, goes on joining carbon, you can imagine how big can be the chain of the carbon atoms. And because of this property is also called as catenation power. Okay, so wherein carbon atoms come together in a large number to form extremely big molecules. Okay, so this is one of the property which allows it to form different types of or different number of compounds. Okay, so this property is also called as catenation. So due to the peculiar nature of the covalent bonds, carbon can form large number of compounds. So it is just because of the formation of the covalent bonds it acquires this property, and this property is also called as catenation power. So the unique ability of carbon to form strong covalent bond with other carbon atoms leads to the formation of big molecules. So since the covalent bonding between carbon to carbon is strong, it leads to the formation of big molecules. So you can imagine, so if suppose carbon has this ability, any number of carbon atoms can join, and if any number, suppose it you will be learning about IUPAC nomenclature of carbon compounds. Therein you will understand that means one carbon, if one carbon compound is there, what it is called, what is the prefix for it. 2 carbon atoms, 3 carbon atom, 4 carbon atom, 5 carbon atom, up to 10 you are going to learn. But it doesn't mean that there are only compounds with only 10 carbon atoms. There are multiple number of carbon atoms can join to each other. So this property is called as catenation power, and because of this property only so many different compounds are formed, whether they may be open chain compounds or it can be ring closed chain compounds. Now open chain means again there are 2 types. One is a straight chain wherein carbon is joined to carbon like that. Okay, that will be called as a straight chain, and since it is open, it is called as open chain. So you can see the structure of the open chain. In that we have 2 types. One is straight chain and another is branch chain. When in straight chain you can see that the carbon is linked in a straight line. Okay, so this type of branching is called as straight chain open branching. Okay, open chain. And branch chain, you can see that not only it can form like this in straight manner, but it can even show branches. And suppose it can show branches, then you can imagine that it can join anywhere on the suppose there are 5 carbon atoms. Okay, 5 carbon atoms join to each other. Suppose 3 are in a straight chain, 2 can be down, up, 1 can be down, 1 can be up, like that 4. Then again 4 are there, 4 can be joined in a straight chain, the 5th one can be down or it can be up. So this way even the naming of the carbon compounds will change. Okay, and since the naming will be changed, you can imagine that it is a different compound. So like that, since this it is having ability to join carbon to carbon, and both in open chain we have straight chain, again branch chain, so it can form multiple number of carbon compound, right? Again, not only open chain, it can even form closed chain, where in closed chain structure will be also called as a ring structure. It is called as ring structure because it can form a ring. Like for example, it can form ring structures like two carbon atoms cannot form a ring structure, but it starts with three carbon atoms. And suppose three carbon atoms are joined to each other, how will be the ring? Yes, it will be in a triangular manner. If four carbon atoms are joined in a ring, carbon to carbon to carbon to carbon, then it will be like either a rectangular or a square shape. Then if it is five carbon atoms joined to each other in a ring manner, okay, cyclic manner, then it can be a pentagonal structure, and so on. So it forms not only open chains, which is straight chain and branch chain, but it also forms closed chain also by forming different types of rings, okay, depending upon the number of carbon atoms. Okay, so this property, which is called as catenation power, also makes carbon unique. Why? Because there are so many number of compounds which are formed due to this property. Okay, next we will move on to the next part of the lesson. Okay, so the covalent bond, the definition is covalent bond formed between two carbon atom is strong, thus it is stable, and due to this property of carbon gets the catenation power. And catenation power is nothing but the property of direct bonding between the atoms of the same element. Okay, so catenation power is there with other atoms also, like silicon also show catenation, but it is more stronger as compared to that in the case of carbon. Fine. Now next we will move on to the next part of the lesson. So it is not only that carbon can form carbon can combine with its own like that and form compounds, but another property also makes carbon different. Not only carbon to carbon to carbon to carbon, that is catenation power. Second property we will discuss now, that is carbon can form single bond, double bond, as well as triple bond. Okay, I'll repeat, carbon can form single bond, double bond, triple bonds. Two carbon atoms can be bonded by one, or you can see here one, it can be bonded by one atom, one bond, so it is called a single bond, or it may be bonded by double bond, that means two bonds, or it can be also bonded by three bonds, which is called as triple bond. And you imagine that suppose like this, it is like this is the condition, then carbon can form so many compounds, correct and right? So due to the ability of the carbon atoms to form different types of bonds, that is single bond, double bond, triple bond, okay, it gives the ability to the carbon atoms to form multiple bonds. The number of carbon compounds increases due to the formation of the multiple bonds. So it can be a single bond between two carbon atoms, double bond between two carbon atoms, or it can be even triple bond with two carbon atoms, and which makes carbon to form multiple number of compounds due to this property. So you know that it can have altogether 4 bonds because it has valency equal to 4, and therefore it can have 4 bonds. These bonds can be either single, double or triple, and then the fourth one, every time it has to satisfy tetravalency. Okay, then we will learn about how it satisfies its tetravalence in the next video. Okay, so this is the second ability of the carbon to form the different number of compounds, because it can have single bond, double bond or triple bond, or multiple bonds in between the two atoms of carbons. Fine. So for example, now if we consider here, the name with two carbon atoms, you will learn about this is eth. et. Okay, et is the prefix, and it can have single bond, then it will be called a ANA, ethene. If it is double bond, then it will get the name ENA, ethene. And if it is a triple bond, then it will get the suffix as YNA, it will be called as ethyne. Fine, the same name, that is, same ET, I have just added what, ANE, ENE and YNE. So here once two single carbon atoms can form three different types of compounds, correct? One is ethane, that is a single bond, ethene with double bond, and triple bond ethyne. So you can imagine like that there are so many number of carbon atoms. Here I have taken only two carbon atoms. Okay, ethane, ethene and ethyne. Fine. So this is the second property of the carbon compounds, carbon to form multiple number of compounds. Next, so you have already learned that the carbon has valency equal to 4, and being tetravalent, one carbon atom can form around 4 bonds with 4 other atoms. Since it has 4 as the valency, therefore it is also called as tetra. Okay, valency is tetra, and covalency, why it is called, it's because it forms covalent bond. So it has this property, as I have mentioned to you, tetra covalency is very unique to carbon. Okay, this is the property which is very unique to carbon. It is not there in any other element like that of carbon. Even silicon is tetravalent, but the way the number of compounds are formed by carbon, it is not formed by silicon. Here it is tetravalent only, it does not show any other valency. It only shows tetra covalency. Tetra means 4 and covalency because it forms the covalent compound by sharing of electron. And because of this, it can form around 4 bonds. It can form how many bonds? 4 bonds with 4 other atoms. Okay, 4 bonds with 4 other atoms. Okay, it can be either carbon itself, or any other element. Okay, it can be either carbon itself or any other element, and because of this results in formation of many compounds. These compounds possess the different properties as per the atoms to which the carbon is bonded. Now suppose there is one carbon, and there are 4 bonds which it forms. It can form with carbon, it can form with hydrogen, it can form with halogens, it can form with phosphorus, sulfur, oxygen, nitrogen, any element it can form. And because of this, there are different number of atoms, and though carbon atom may be single here, but because different atoms are getting joined to it, the properties of each one of these compounds also will differ. Correct? So let's see how it differs. I will take some example here. Now for example, 5 different compounds are formed using one carbon atom. Here you can see 5 different compounds are formed only from one single carbon atom, just because it has tetra covalency. Okay, and has the ability to combine with any other element. You can see with single carbon atom there are 5 different compounds which are formed. One is because there are 2 monovalent atoms here. One is hydrogen, okay, and another one is chlorine. Okay, in the first case you can see methane here 1 carbon atom and 4 hydrogen atoms. So you have already learnt that the name of this structure is nothing but methane. Okay, so here 1 carbon with 4 hydrogen. Next, here 1 hydrogen is replaced by chlorine, you can see, and now the name also has changed because it is not methane now, because 1 hydrogen has been taken away, and what is replaced from carbon is hydrogen, and therefore the name also will change and its name is methyl chloride. Okay, methyl chloride. Then here you can see in the third condition, two chlorines are there, and therefore its name has also changed. The name is methylene dichloride. Next, three chlorines are there and one hydrogen is there. It is also called as chloroform. You might have heard about chloroform, which is used to make a person unconscious. So that is chloroform. Fine. Then last one is one carbon and four chlorine atoms are there. Its name has changed to carbon tetrachloride. So each one of these, though carbon is single, single carbon is there, but since there are two different monovalent atoms, so one is hydrogen and one is chlorine, just because the number of these hydrogen or number of chlorine atoms have changed, the names also have changed, and names have changed, that means their properties also changes. So you can see from one single carbon atom 5 different compounds are formed just because of the property called as tetracovalency. Fine. Similarly, okay, so depending upon the number of atoms bonded to carbon, the compound possesses different properties. Similarly, carbon atoms can form covalent bonds with elements of like oxygen. It can form with sulfur. It can also form with nitrogen. It can form with bromine, that is a halogen. Then it can also form with phosphorus. So you can see that carbon can combine not only with hydrogen or not only with chlorine or halogen, which was there, which we have taken example. You can see that it can bond with other elements also, that is oxygen, nitrogen, sulfur, halogen, phosphorus, and so on. And just because of this property of tetracovalency, it can form multiple number of compounds. So this is the third property. Now let's turn on to the last one, that is nothing but isomerism. Now what is isomerism? Okay, isomerism you are going to study in detail in the next part, but I just mentioned to you what it is. Now isomerism is nothing but it is the property of the carbon compounds, or it has this property wherein the carbon has the same molecular formula but the structural formula is different. Okay, same molecular formula but structural formula will be different. Like how you have learned about the open chain. In open chain we have straight chain and we have also branch chains. Correct? So straight chain, suppose there are 4 carbon atoms. Okay, so the formula of the name of the compound with 4 carbon atoms also called as butane. Okay, butane, remember this, student. So the formula for butane is C4H10. Now in open chain also it will be C4H10, and even in branch chain, suppose not only in in a straight chain, one will be in a straight chain, other will be down, or two will be in a chain, others will be up and down, and so on. So it can form branch chain, it can form straight chain. So butane, I have taken an example of C4H10. So in open chain also the formula remains the same, molecular formula remains the same, and in the branch chain also the formula remains the same. But what is changing here? Structure is changing. Structure of straight chain will be straight and that of branch chain will be branched. So that is called as isomerism, and because of this property also carbon can form multiple number of compounds. So I hope so you have understood why carbon forming. There's another property called as polymerization. Polymerization, it's similar to that of catenation but little different. In catenation, what happens? Carbon bonds along with each other. Carbon element, as it is the property of the element, that carbon combines with itself and form long chains. Even polymerization is also formation of the long chain. But here polymerization means what? Here different compounds. Catenation is the property of the element to join two carbon atoms, not two carbon, many carbon atoms in a chain like this, catenation. Whereas polymerization means what? Here the compound is, linked to each other. Small monomers, single compound, which is called as monomer are joined to each other. Like for example, there is some example called as, you might have heard about polythene or polyethylene is nothing but plastic. Now here monomer is ethene. You will understand this when you learn about IUPAC, but just remember is something called ethylene or ethene. Okay, one molecule or one compound called as ethylene. These ethylene can join to each other to form big chain of many ethylene units or many monomer units of ethylene, which gets polymerized to each other, and therefore since many monomer units are joined together, this property is called as polymerization. Okay, so that also you have to learn, that you have to understand that because of all these different properties, carbon can form different number of compounds. So we have learnt now what? Catenation. We have learnt about carbon can form single bond, double bond, triple bond, which makes it what? To form different number of compounds. Then because of its tetracovalency, just because it has this property, it can bond with different number of atoms, which makes again which gives rise to the number of compounds. Then we have learnt about isomerism. Isomerism is same molecular formula but different structural formula, and if the structure is changing, that means though it has the same molecular formula, the properties will be different, correct? And therefore again the number of compounds increases. Then though it is not mentioned in your textbook or in this part, but I have told you about another property called as polymerization, wherein many monomer units are joined to each other to form a polymer, like that of polyethylene. Ethylene, many units of ethylene are joined together to form a poly chain of the ethene or ethylene. So it is also called as polyethylene, like that. Ester is there, polyester. Okay, ethylene, polyethylene is plastic. You might have heard about polyester, that is clothes. Okay, correct. So all this is because of the carbon's ability to form to have this property of polymerization. Fine, dear students, I hope so you have understood about why carbon is called as a versatile element. So next time you are going to learn about what are saturated and unsaturated hydrocarbons. So till then students, bye and thank you.